Hi, I'm attorney Mike Davis, and I wanted to just go over the general nature of simple, uncontested, low-cost, no-fault divorces. They break down into two types. One for people who have been separated less than a year, and the others for people who have been separated more than a year. Now, one of the things that distinguishes a low-cost divorce from a divorce through a local full-service law firm is that we're going to file in a court that saves you money on court costs, where you probably don't live. And when we do that, what's important is that no matter how long you're living apart, your spouse is still going to have to sign to obtain your divorce. That's just a fact. So, in the general sense, if you're separated less than a year, what has to happen is a very simple divorce complaint is filed. It's just names, addresses, and date and place of marriage, and it says that the marriage is broken. No one's blamed for doing anything. That's why it's called no fault. That gets filed in court. Then we have to get a copy to your spouse. Your spouse signs and dates a document stating that the divorce complaint was received, and that begins the 90-day waiting period. When the 90-day waiting period is over, you will have received another document for both of you to sign, which simply says, in layman's terms, I agree to the divorce. You both sign that document. Send that back to me with the first one your spouse signed. I print out some additional documentation based on your case, send it to the court with your request that your divorce be granted, and that happens a few weeks later. So as you can see, it's not a 90-day divorce, and it's not a divorce with a 90-day separation. It's a divorce with a 90-day waiting period in the middle. There are things to do before the 90 days and things to do after the 90 days. Now, we do offer special services that will compact the time before and after the 90 days. No lawyer can do anything about the 90-day waiting period if you're not separated over a year. Now, in the unusual cases where you are separated more than a year, the process is slightly different. The divorce complaint still is exactly the same. It's still no fault, no one's blamed. But you would also sign an affidavit saying you've been apart more than a year. So those two documents are filed, and your spouse has to receive copies of both of those, and then sign a document saying, I got those documents and I agree with everything that's in them. So if I mail that directly to your spouse, and your spouse mails it directly back to me, it doesn't even have to be notarized. When I get that back, the next thing is to prepare the final paperwork to send your court to the judge to grant your divorce. And you save 90 days' time if you're apart more than a year. When we first got no-fault divorce in 1980, you had to wait 3 years of separation to proceed without the 90 days. Then they reduced it to 2. And at the end of 2016, it was finally reduced down to 1 year. I get a lot of inquiries from people saying, is it true that I don't have to wait 90 days if it's 2 years? There's not a lot of common knowledge out there that was changed from 2 to 1. So as time has gone on, they've shortened that period. Presumably people have complained about it, but not enough people have complained about the 90-day waiting period. So if you're separated less than a year, we're stuck with that 90 days. If you have any questions, call me. It's toll-free, 1-800-486-4070, and the consultation is free. Thanks for watching this.